I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you ever lost? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance, man. I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you ever lost? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance, man.
Congratulations, brother.
And here we go. It's going to be an exciting show tonight. We're going to go ahead and talk about NFL quarterbacks, predominantly quarterbacks in the AFC East. Talk about some of the guys also getting paid in the NFL, and my goodness, how it's going to impact, again, the AFC East. It all boils down to how it impacts the Jets, right? Like, at the end of the day, we're all Jets fans. The majority of you are Jets fans, or at least AFC East fans. And we're just trying to get an idea of how it's going to impact our individual teams when it comes to paying these individuals, how it's going to impact the salary cap, the weapons you can put around them, et cetera, et cetera. So for me, it's an exciting episode because we've seen some ridiculous things in regards to payouts this week, right? The Trevor Lawrence situation to me, I think, is wow. I don't know what the front office was thinking over there. Trevor Lawrence has been less than mid. I consider him a bust from what he was supposed to be coming out of freaking college. The whole concept that this guy was supposed to be the next Andrew Luck goes to show you just how often this whole generational freaking mark is being placed on these guys when they have no business being identified as such. Again, Andrew Luck to me is possibly the last generational guy we've actually seen. But yeah, I digress. We're going to talk about freaking Tua. We're going to talk about freaking Josh Allen. We're going to talk about Drake, Maye, Jacoby Brissett. And we're going to talk about Aaron Rodgers. Tonight with me on the show, we got Jay from JetsX. He's a Jets beat writer. He's been writing a lot of articles lately. His information is in the description. But I'm going to go ahead and bring him on right now. Jay, what's good, man? How you doing today?
How's it going, bro? How you doing, man? Thanks for having me on.
I'm doing easy day, man. Thanks for coming on. Listen, you've seen the kind of money being paid out to these individuals. I know you've got some opinions on it, man. We're going to go ahead and talk about it. But I already see somebody, again, we were going to go ahead and talk about this. But you know what? People are impatient, and I get that. Bernard, we got you right here. Bernard wants to ask, are you worried about this Rodgers thing? So we were going to talk about that. So we're going to kick it right off. Aaron Rodgers. Apparently, the rumor is he went on one of his ayahuasca that thing retreat. And that's why he missed minicamp. Now, it hasn't been verified or validated or anything like that, but that's the rumor. And personally, I have my opinions on it. How do you feel about the Aaron Rodgers situation with him missing minicamp and him going out there to go ahead and get on another retreat to do whatever it is that he does over there?
I mean, personally, I don't give a shit. I really don't care. He's a 4-time NFL MVP. He's won a Super Bowl. He tore his Achilles last year after attending every offseason program. And you know what I mean? He was at OTAs. Who cares if he missed a minicamp? Honestly, he can do whatever he wants. As long as he's staying healthy, he's not doing anything crazy, he can do whatever he wants, in my opinion. Like, we saw what happened last year. For me to hear that he's probably out there, like, relaxing, I don't know about the whole ayahuasca thing, but it makes me a little bit more comfortable than seeing him running around when, you know what I mean, he's just come not even a year off that injury.
Yeah, listen, I'm with you, man. I don't know if it's as big of a deal as people are making it out to be. I think when it boils down to it, it's Aaron Rodgers, right? Yeah. Aaron Rodgers is one of the most polarizing quarterbacks in the NFL. Now he's in the New York media market. He's going to get every little bit of attention imaginable, especially coming from Green Bay, where the market wasn't as vast. I'm not worried about it, man. This is apparently a treatment or a retreat that has helped him kind of connect his mental and his emotional state. It's allowed him to kind of align with his physical ability to play football. If it's going to help him mentally, emotionally, spiritually, hey, you know what? Have at it. I don't care if it is, a placebo effect. If he believes it helps his game, I'm all for it, right? This is a guy coming off of one of the worst injuries of his career. And the last time he went on one of these retreats, he came back and had a MVP season. People keep forgetting about that. The last time he went on it, he had an MVP season, back-to-back seasons right after that. So if he felt this was important for him to kind of go ahead and get his mind back on track or whatever the case might be, I'm with you, man. I don't give a shit. I think at the end of the day, it's about having him ready to go when it matters most. But it is convenient, though, like you brought up, that no one mentioned that he was at voluntary OTAs, voluntary camp, every single aspect of all the voluntary components. He was there. They're talking about like, yeah, this is why the Packers were done with him and blah, blah, blah. Stop, pause. The Packers situation was he was done. The man wasn't showing up to anything voluntary or mandatory. So there's a big difference there. And he also made the front office aware of this this absence way beforehand. So I'm not worried about it. And I don't think any Jets fan should be either. I think if it's going to help our quarterback get his mind right, even again, if it is a placebo effect, I don't care. I would rather him feel better about himself mentally, emotionally, spiritually going into this season so it aligns with what he can do physically.
Yeah. Like he's going to be 41 years old at the end of the year, correct? So, you know what I mean? Let him do whatever he wants. Like you said, the last time we really see, his last year with Green Bay, he still threw 29 touchdown passes. For us seeing that we haven't seen a quarterback throw for 10 touchdown passes since Ryan Fitzpatrick. It's been 10 years.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, I don't want to jinx it because I said last year, but so you know what I mean? Like, and he's coming off of 2 NFL MVPs back to back. Like, that's saying something. Mahomes was in the league at that point. You know what I mean? There was guys in the league like Josh Allen was still in the league. Lamar Jackson was still in the league.
Burrow.
Joe Burrow. Yeah, there you go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people don't like. I get it. He's not a likable guy, and I absolutely get it. But like, when you look at what the Jets have done this offseason and even what they did last year, but this year it's a whole different ballgame. They completely revamped the offensive line. They brought in some big weapons. I know a lot of people are mad about the first-round draft pick, but that's another topic of discussion. But they're doing it right to build around Aaron Rodgers. And like I said, he can do whatever he wants, man. He can, as long as he's not running around, doing karate or some shit like that, I don't care. Do whatever you want, buddy.
I'm with you. Bernard, I think he meant total TDs. I think he had 3 rushing TDs to go with the 26 passing TDs.
Well, there you go. 3 rushing. There you go. With a fractured thumb, yeah.
With the fractured thumb, too.
He made some passes against us. Like, we did beat them that year. But he still – I remember a few throws he made to Lazard that were just absolute dimes. And I was like – and then he's on the Jets now.
I mean, listen, the whole Aaron Rodgers thing, people can talk shit all they want to about it. They can go ahead and get down on the Jets for giving him the keys to the franchise. I don't care. I really could care less. The fact of the matter is we have a team that's young enough and talented enough to actually be relevant. The biggest Achilles – oh, I'm not even going to say that. The biggest weakness – the biggest weakness has been the situation with the quarterback play. So for me, I've gotten to the point now where I see a lot of individuals will continue to knock it. I don't care. I could care less. I love the fact that Aaron Rodgers is our quarterback. I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to do for us this season. We're still talking about a guy who gave back $30 million when he came here to be a New York Jet. So if you're going to sit there and talk about how he's selfish or he's out for himself, then you haven't been watching this version of Aaron
He wanted to be here. The Jets were the only team that he was going to get traded to. And since we're on the topic, I still remember the day that he was going to be on Pat McAfee, and he was like, I made it clear since Friday that my intentions were to play. My intentions were to play for the New York Jets. And I was just like,
bro, that
I remember I was moving into this apartment that day, actually, and I was like, oh! I was like, let's go. But
I was at work, and I had just started the job there, too, so it was, like, relatively new with the new job. And I was in my office watching it, man, and I got a little too excited to where one of my coworkers came in the office, everything cool? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm good. I had to recompose myself.
I had to get that out. No, I get it, bro.
But it had to get out. It had to get out. I see you. I see you, Bernard. Bernard corrected us. Okay, so it's 26 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. So 27 total, not 29.
With a broken thumb.
I'll take that with a broken thumb. And by the way, that year he also led the league in freaking drops by a large margin. And he doesn't just lead the league in drops. He led the league in drops by the most accurate passes dropped in the NFL, too. Like, it wasn't like these guys were getting a hand on it.
Yeah.
What was that? Yeah,
that would have been what year? What year was that?
2022.
I'm just trying to see. I'm trying to look at the Jets QB stats because I want to do a little bit of comparison. So
shout out to Bernard, Dark Soldier, Jets Mess. I see you guys in the chat. Yeti, to Bernard again, good looking out. Ricky from New York, Dano, what's up, my guy? But yeah, so ultimately, we're going to talk about the AFC quarterbacks. You're seeing a lot of this right now going on, right? A lot of quarterbacks getting paid. In my opinion, stupid money. You just saw
Overpaid.
Trevor Lawrence significantly overpaid. I looked at what they just gave to Trevor Lawrence, and I'm thinking to myself, that was utterly ridiculous. But it just threw a wrench into the bowl, I guess, into the mix when it comes to these quarterbacks. Now, listen, a lot of people are looking at these guys and they're talking about like Matthew Stafford is still elite. Dak Prescott is elite. Listen, I don't think anybody on this screen is elite. None of these guys to me is elite. I think Jordan Love has the potential to might be there. But again, we saw him really pick up steam on the back end of the last season. So we really haven't seen him do it for an entire season. So I want to wait before I start saying like he's the next GOAT. But again, he's a great starting caliber quarterback thus far. But Matthew Stafford's on the other side of 30, man. Like at the end of the day, eventually it starts catching up. And this is a guy who depends more so on gunslinging than the high IQ of the game. I still don't think he's an elite quarterback, not at this stage of his career. Dak Prescott and Tua are the same dudes. One just happens to play for the AFC, one for the NFC. $60 million. That's where they're at right now. $55 million just got paid out to Trevor. If you did the 57. Was it 57 or 55?
I think he's getting paid $55 a year.
55 a year. So, and if Trevor got that, I will say this: every quarterback here on this list, on this screenshot here, is better than Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
I feel like the Jaguars just threw a massive wrench into the quarterback carousel. And now you've got teams like the Dolphins who are going to have to potentially pay Tua that $55 to $60 million range.
Yeah.
How do you feel
Fuck.
Can you guys testing 1, 2, 3? Visual is Gucci, but audio is off. This is a first. Okay. JJ, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Are we back?
I don't even know, but I think so.
I think we are. Yeah, everybody's saying we are. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't
I
know if
don't
it was
know
me. I
what.
panicked. I was like, no. All right, we're good.
I've been using this for a while, and that's never happened before. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah. I thought maybe because I was
All right.
using my iPad, so I thought maybe like that, but it's all good. We're good. We're back.
Okay, now that just turned weird.
See, that's why you got to use StreamYard.
Okay. All right. I think we're back.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
I all the comments.
I apologize, y'all, for whatever that was. That's never happened before. So I apologize. Yeah, I'll look into that. Anyway, we were just talking about $60 million. I think it's much. What are your thoughts, man, on potentially Tua getting that kind of money, $55 to $60 million, and how it impacts the AFC East?
I mean, as a Jets fan, Tua's a good QB, first of all. I know there's a lot of people in the chat that don't like Tua and saying he's a bum, but Tua is a good QB, guys. I don't care what anybody says. He's a good quarterback. I know he has Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, but it doesn't matter. They're on the Dolphins. They're going to be there. He's going to utilize them. And I know he's 5-0 against us. So, I mean, but he has played some Walmart QBs. But then again, still 5-0 against a team in the AFC that you play twice a year. It's still pretty good. You know what I mean? Hopefully that changes this year. I think it will. But as far as the Trevor Lawrence thing, like you said it earlier, that was a massive overpay, bro. Like I don't like they paid him what? They got 5 years out of him?
I think it's 4 years. Well, total it'll be 5 years because they extended him, so it'll be 5 years total.
Yeah, like that's just like you said, he hasn't done anything. Like I think it was you actually that or somebody posted a tweet of his stats, and it's like, what's all that money for? You know what I mean? I don't agree with it at all. Though, but the Tua situation, I think he's gonna get paid. The Miami Dolphins would be stupid not to pay him. Like I said, he's a good quarterback. He's a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, if not top 5. So he's gonna get paid, and we're gonna see him a lot. So, but as long as Tyreek stays there, then he'll be solid for years to come. And then also, Waddle's gonna be coming up too. So.
Okay, so you're on the I'm with you, man. I think they should pay him, but I think I want them to pay them predominantly because of a selfish nature of mine. I do believe that Tua is the weak link of the Miami Dolphins. Again, I think he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's a scrub. I don't think he's bad. I think for what that offense needs him to do, he does it very well. I mean, let's be honest. The dude he led the league last year in freaking passing yards. He made it through a whole season healthy. Granted, it's a small sample size. But the main thing was his health and him being able to operate within the offense. Now, again, you look at it and you saw him struggle mightily. I think he was 1-6 or 1-5 against playoff caliber teams. So when he came up against legitimate talent, he's a ghost. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to beating up on teams he should beat up on, he does that very well, right? So the team, in essence, beats up on the teams they should, and they struggled against the better team. So I was watching a podcast earlier today, and I'm going to share it with you guys. So this is not my content. I don't own the rights to this. So this is going to be a clip from John Middlecoff on 3 and Out podcast. It's a good one. So I'm going to go ahead and show it real quick because to me, that was very telling in regards to, and again, somebody not really in the realm of being a fan like we are. So when we talk about it, people are, you're a hater, et cetera. This is not to do with a fan, just an outside perspective. There was also an article that came out with a bunch of GMs and defensive coordinators kind of breaking down Tua as well. But I digress. So this is from 3 and Out podcast.
Tua, what's even to be said at this point? How could any human being, including Mike McDaniel, including Stephen Ross, including any Dolphin fan, be remotely comfortable discussing these type numbers for this player based on the information we have. We've seen 2 straight years. He was banged up 2 years ago, which is a concern. It's not his fault he's getting concussions, but he got them. And last year just fell apart, crumbled like a cookie. How could you even entertain discussing any of these numbers? I couldn't. I'm not acting like he's some scrub. I'm not acting like the guy should be a backup. But not everyone should get these amounts of money. We've seen it in the NBA for years. It's like, wait, DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine make the same amount as Anthony Davis and Steph Curry? It's like, yeah, not all contracts are equal, even if the money is. Because some guys have a dramatically bigger impact than others. And when you pay Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson a lot of money, those guys are ass kickers. When you pay Tua a lot of money, that just limits your cap space to have to surround him with talent because he can't do it by himself. Hell, we don't even know if he can do it when he has help in the biggest moments when it gets cold. So I don't even know what the discussion is there. To me, it's a no-brainer. We're playing this thing out.
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing real quick. I love that he mentioned is about the cold because that's a thing that's very, very overlooked. Like Tua is he's from Hawaii, is he not? Like,
correct.
So,
yeah, he's Hawaiian.
Like, I don't want to be that guy, but like if the Dolphins don't win the division every year, they're screwed. Because look what happened in Kansas City. Like don't get me wrong, that was a freezing cold game, but like those things matter. Tua doesn't. He's not gonna last. And that's like another thing too. Like you said, you hope they pay him, which I kind of do hope they do too because I don't know if he's gonna last that long.
Yeah, I think what it boils down to is Tua. I think Mike McDaniel is significantly underrated in what he's been able to do for Tua's freaking game. This was a guy just a couple years ago. They were trying to go ahead and collude to bring Tom Brady into the fold to replace this guy. So
it was not happening.
No, it wasn't going to happen. But they tried. They tried it, right?
Yeah.
So that goes to show you what the front office really thought about Tua. And even now, when you really think about it, right, you're seeing all these guys get paid. Now the price goes up with each new contract. And they're still struggling with the decision of paying a guy like Tua long term. And I agree with what he said. If Tua couldn't get it done when you had this elite talent around him, which I do believe last year's Miami Dolphins team is probably the most talented team Tua will ever have around him once he gets paid.
Yeah,
because that team was stacked, and people will sit there and say, "Oh, they weren't." No, they were. That team was stacked. I think Vic Fangio, they're going to miss him. They talked a lot of crap with him. They're going to miss him when they see what he was working with and how he was still able to make them a top 10 in terms of total yards, type of defense. But I think last year was the best roster Tua is going to have around him. You know what I'm saying, in his career, especially if he gets paid. Yeah, if he couldn't get it done with that, when they had that massive lead. When Josh Allen and friends were trying to figure out life, right? We lost freaking Aaron Rodgers. You had the freaking Patriots pretty much down and out. They were done. And you couldn't get it done then. So I think this is why the concern right now or the hesitation is on paying a guy like Tua. But I hope they do it. I really hope they do it. People will say like, oh, yeah, Tua's 5-0 against you. Then I'll ask them, okay, look at Tua's stats against the Jets in the 5-0. In fact, fun fact, Tua has as many touchdown passes to the New York Jets defense as he does to any wide receiver on his own team in those 5 games.
Yikes.
Like, literally. Like, I sit there, Brandon Eccles has 2. And I think the next person that has 2 is, Parker, Devontae Parker.
Brandon Eccles has 2 pick sixes on Tua?
Yep, 2 pick sixes, man.
I remember the Black Friday one. Oh, man, I remember his shit.
Yeah,
I don't remember
2.
the other one. Either way, that's awesome. Good for him.
Yeah, so every time they say, oh, he's 5-0 against you, I'm like, no, your team is 5-0 against us. Tua was trash. Each time he's played the Jets, he's been trash. Like, he has a 1-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. Like, he's never he's averaging, I think, like 185 yards a game. It's not impressive. But the Tuaneers will sit there and tell you Tua is 5-0. Even though the first game that he's 5-0, he threw two passes that game. Whatever. Yeah. I'll let him have it because overall it just impacts the overall stat line of how bad Tua is against the Jets.
Yeah, I mean, like, you got to look at the QBs he's played. Like, Boyle started that Black Friday game, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. And then, like, he beat Zach Wilson probably at least, I would say, maybe 3 times. Or I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping.
He
Maybe
beat Zach, I think, twice. I think
who
it's
has he
twice.
beaten? So has he beaten
He's
Boyle,
beaten,
Zach
he's
twice,
beaten
Mike
Boyle.
White?
He's beaten Zach. I think he beat Mike White.
Okay,
I
who's
want
the
to
other
say he
one?
beat Joe Flacco.
That was maybe my other one. And if anybody else knows, comment because I'm really curious. But
Yeah,
still,
I'm
like
kind of
those are
curious too.
bums. Those are
But
bums,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Like, and like the other thing too, like we have Aaron Rodgers now. The defense isn't gonna be on the field for freaking 59 minutes a game.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They're gonna be on the field for I don't know. I don't really know how much often, but like you know what I mean. They're not gonna be on the field as much. The offense is gonna be out there. They're gonna be getting first downs. They're gonna be moving the sticks, and like even like they're gonna get in the red zone too. So defense is gonna be fine, and I don't think Tua is gonna be able to compete against a full healthy defense, especially with who we have now. Like with the addition of Hassan Reddick and Sauce in his third year. Michael Carter's coming up. Quincy's gonna have another big year. So Jermaine Johnson too. They got a lot of guys. Javon Kinlaw is gonna be sweet.
Man, personally, I love it, and I hope they make the decision because
Mm-hmm.
once you pay Tua that money, you limit what you're able to put around him to help him
Yeah.
be good.
Oh, yeah. That's a big thing.
And I think the supporting cast really matters for a guy like Tua. And again, the supporting cast matters for everybody. I think you should have help around your guy, but is Tua going to be the guy you look at and say he can elevate anyone and make them a little bit better? No, I don't believe that's the case. I think at this point now, the Dolphins kind of have to pay him. They're in that weird spot of who else can we bring in here? We just paid freaking Waddle. We got Tyreek Hill under contract for another year or 2 years. You know what I'm saying? We got to make this count. It's a small window. And don't forget, you fired a whole coaching staff because you chose Tua over that coaching staff.
Yeah.
Listen, Flores, to me, I look at what Flores was able to achieve with a significantly more limited roster, less talent. And I have no idea how any Dolphins fans can sit there and be a fan of their team and think they somehow are better when you've only seen 2 more wins with all the money you've thrown at it, all the talent you've put on this team. You've seen 2 more wins. What would Flores do with this team with what he was able to achieve with significantly less talent? I don't get Dolphins fans sometimes, man. I don't know if they're Dolphins fans or if they're Tua fans, but I'll say this. Tua is probably one of the most polarizing quarterbacks in the league because you either believe in him or you don't. There's no in between.
Yeah.
There's really no in between. It's either you believe in him, which it seems like the majority that believe in him are Dolphins fans, right? But it's a split fan base. It's like 60-40, 50-50 maybe. Like it's polarizing to see just how much one quarterback can have so different in terms of perspectives about him within his own fan base.
I mean, he's like I said, he's one hit away from getting out of the league. I hate to say that, but like it's just facts. Like what happened to him twice? Dude was throwing up gang signs. You know what I mean? Like if he needs to stay upright too, and if they can't protect him, then he's gonna be screwed. And like another thing about like Tyreek Hill, how much longer is he gonna play? Like, you know what I mean? He's already won he's won what? 2? I think 2. Oh no, he's only won 1, right? So
he's got 1 ring.
He's not gonna win a ring with the Dolphins. I'm telling you right now. I don't care. I hope there's Dolphins fans that are watching. You're not winning the Super Bowl with Tua.
And the thing is with Tyreek Hill, he's only getting older. I think he's 30 years old this year.
Yeah, he doesn't. He already said something about it. Like
the speed won't last forever, man. Like you can see a guy like a Julio Jones, or they can go ahead and stretch it out a little bit because they got the size, right? They got the body, they can do that. But Hill's speed is what makes Hill. And eventually, man, that starts to fade. I mean, for him, it might take a little while longer. He might go from a 4.3 guy to a 4.4 guy over the next couple of years. But at 30 years old, we've seen individuals where it's a cliff, man. It just hit the cliff and they just drop. Yep. I will say this about Tua. He was able to stay healthy last year. I made fun about the whole idea of using jiu-jitsu to go ahead and help him fall better. But watching games, I was sitting there and I was just like, damn, that was definitely a freaking combat role. Yep. That was really good. It worked. It worked. But I don't like that he lost weight this year because the extra weight last year, I think, was a benefit. More padding, right? But he lost weight this year. That offensive line isn't the greatest. But again, I don't think McDaniel really looks at the offensive line as needing to be great because of how quick, he gets the ball out. I think it's like a 2.1 second average is what it came out to last year.
Yep.
So you don't need an offensive line to go ahead and keep you upright for too long. But I want them to pay Tua. I really do. But I do believe once they do that, it will limit them to maybe making it to the playoffs. Again, I respect what McDaniels brings to the table, and there's a lot of talent on that roster, offensively speaking. So I believe that's going to be enough in this freaking offensive-driven league to get them enough wins to make the playoffs. But I think Tua is literally their weakest link. When I look at that roster, I look at Tua, and I'm like, man, you're the question mark. Like, you're literally the question mark as to whether or not this team can succeed.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like I said, all he needs to do is get hit. Maybe I don't want to say one hit. That sounds kind of dicky to say, but like he got rocked. It was what 2 years ago, last season.
Yeah,
not last season, but yeah. So you know what I mean. And their offensive line, I don't really pay. I try not to pay attention to Dolphins. I have Dolphins muted on my Twitter account, so I don't see anything Dolphins because I'm sick of them. The fans are ridiculous. You guys haven't won a playoff game in what is it, like 24 years or something like that? I think it's
20,000. I think
it's 24 years. Yeah, so there you go.
It's a long time.
I get a lot of Dolphins.
They'll come at you and be like, y'all haven't even made the playoffs. And I'm like, isn't it sad that we're still more relevant in the postseason in the 21st century and we haven't been there in 13 years?
I've seen my team win, I think, was it 6 playoff games? Should be 6.
Yep, I've seen
6.
I've seen like 14.
Well, I've been a fan since 2008, so Brett Favre and then Mark Sanchez were the golden years, so you know what I mean? But like I said, we were one game away from the Super Bowl twice, 2 years in a row. We would have played Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees. That would have been a weird Super Bowl though. Saints, Jets, and then Packers, Jets.
That would have been nice. But maybe this year. Maybe this year, right?
Yeah.
Imagine it'd be Jets, Packers this year.
That's too much. That would be too perfect. Everybody would say it's rigged. There's no way.
If it's scripted, and I don't care. I don't care for this script.
If it happens,
NFL,
give me
NFL writers, listen to me.
Yeah.
Jets versus Packers in your Super Bowl.
Please.
Iconic. It'll be iconic. You can't go wrong.
The Jets winning a Super Bowl would be the best thing that could ever happen to the NFL. Because as far as like other leagues, like you got teams like the Buffalo Sabres or like, you know what I mean, like the New Orleans Pelicans that are just absolute shit. And then you got the Jets. And I hate to say it, but it's true. And the Jets, if they win a Super Bowl or even compete for a Super Bowl, it's like what the Lions did. Like I live right near Detroit, and the Lions have been shit since I've been alive. So you know what I mean. And for them to almost make it to Super Bowl, they did mess up, but you know what I mean. It was big, and that's what the NFL wants. And as much as people hate Aaron Rodgers, if they stay healthy, it's gonna happen.
Well, let's look at the AFC East now. That's the Dolphins situation, right? Quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, the 3-time AFC East champions.
No, I'm just kidding.
Josh Allen. So Josh freaking Allen is the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. He's obviously in this division, and the AFC East goes through them. It sucks to say it, but until they're dethroned, it goes through them. Yeah. I personally think the New York Jets have their number. We've figured out Josh Allen. We've made him look beyond mid every time.
With Zach Wilson.
With Zach Wilson, you know what I'm saying? So I feel really good about the matchup. I think our defense is built to beat the Buffalo Bills or to beat Josh Allen. So I feel good about it. But when you look at Josh Allen, he just lost some key components to his roster, to his offense. I mean, the team in general just got gutted, in my opinion, this freaking offseason.
Yeah.
I have a lot of concerns about whether or not they're going to be as competitive as some are saying because they have Josh Allen. But let's talk about Josh Allen. So Josh Allen is the freaking quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. And people seem to forget there was a time before Josh Allen got himself a legitimate wide receiver one, which is Stephon Diggs, that he was playing in the league. Like he was actually a quarterback in the league. But there's also been components of times where he's had to play without Stephon Diggs in games. Only a handful of times where he's missing games. Yeah. How do you feel about Josh Allen right now in the post-Stephon Diggs era?
I mean, they did draft Keon Coleman, who looks like he's going to be a stud. Like, if you're not a casual fan, you understand football, you know that he's going to be good. He's a cool dude. Like, I'm sure you've seen him all over the Twitter and stuff. He's hilarious. He's a good guy. Like, he went to was it Florida State? No, was it Florida State? I can't remember.
It was Florida State.
Was it? Okay, that's good then. Yeah. But so he went to Florida State. So you know what I mean. He was a baller in college, and he's obviously their wide receiver one now. Who else do they have? They have Curtis Samuel, I think. Or am I tripping?
Yeah, Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, and then they have Claypool, shout out Canada, that's my guy. But even though actually, I've been seeing some stuff that he's been doing pretty good in camp, but you see that all the time. So, I mean, like they have Kincaid and Knox. Who are the running backs?
They got James Cook.
Oh, James Cook. Yeah, I forgot about that. But I think he's still going to be Josh Allen. You know what I mean? He can run. That's a big thing that we get screwed every year from. He just runs all over us. And he's going to throw like 40, 45 touchdowns this year. He's not good of a QB. As much as I hate him because he's in our division. He's like the new Tom Brady to me, but he's an elite quarterback in my opinion. He's top 3. So I don't really think Diggs being gone will mean that much. They did also lose Gabe Davis, who we haven't mentioned. He's on the Jaguars now, I'm pretty sure. So
also lost his center.
So that's see, I don't really pay attention to them that much, but I didn't know that. And then they lost Micah Hyde. I mean, this is defense. They lost Jordan Poyer. Who else? Like they lost a lot. Like you said, they got gutted this year. So if I'm being completely honest with you, bro, I'm not that worried about the Bills. I'm really not. I honestly I see us beating them once, maybe twice, to be honest. Where's the second game? I don't know.
I think it's with them. Second game is in Buffalo.
So it's probably like week. Actually, I'm pulling it up right now. Oh yeah, week 17 actually. So
yeah, it'll be freezing.
I might go to that actually. But anyways, yeah. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers is there, I could, like I said, we beat him with Zach Wilson, and like you said, the Jets have Josh Allen's number. He throws picks. He took 3 to Jordan Whitehead. I mean, he's not on the Jets anymore, but like, I don't know. I'm not that worried.
He still threw it.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about the Dolphins than the Bills. Way more.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Every time I say it, people sound crazy. Listen, Josh Allen.
If you know football, it's common knowledge.
Yeah. The Dolphins worry me more, right? Because my concern is, what if Tua does have another level to his game? And if he has another level to the game where he can go ahead and actually get to the second or the third read somehow, if he's somehow mature to that point, that could be terrifying. Because again, that's a lot of speed on offense. And I'm sorry, I love our defense, but speed is speed. Speed does kill. Like, that's a real thing. Like, you can only do so much, especially in a league where it's tailored right now more towards the offense. I'm more concerned about containing the Miami Dolphins offense, and I'm worried about Josh Allen throwing to Keon Coleman. And the reason I say that is because I like Keon. I think he was one of my favorite wide receivers in this draft. But you're asking this dude to go ahead and pick up the mantle of where Stephon Diggs left off, where literally Gabe Davis is also gone. Curtis Samuel being wide receiver 2, you put a lot of pressure on your young guy to have to go ahead and make plays. And let me go ahead and just read y'all a couple of stats, right? So Stephon Diggs and the Josh Allen, marriage, resulted in Josh Allen averaging 65.5% completion percentage. He had an average yards per attempt like 7.4, 137 touchdowns to 57, a 2.4 to 1 TD to interception ratio, passer rating of 96.9. Now, Josh Allen without Stephon Diggs, 56.3% completion percentage, 6.6 yards per attempt, 30 touchdowns to 21 interceptions. We're talking a freaking 1.43 TD to interception ratio and a passer rating of 78.2. I think Buffalo Bills fans that have told themselves that they're not worried about it, that, it's going to be okay, because at the end of the year last year, Stephon Diggs wasn't utilized anyway. We went the tight end route. Well, the fact of the matter is, if Stephon Diggs is on the field, it's going to make defenses respect Stephon Diggs because he is Stephon Diggs, legitimate wide receiver 1. They seem to not take that into consideration as how their tight ends were able to get more involved. Their running back was able to go ahead, James Cook was able to go ahead and get more running lanes. That matters when your wide receiver 1 is out there making defenses play honest football. Like that's the thing. But a lot of Buffalo Bills fans will tell you, it didn't matter. Josh Allen got better because Josh Allen didn't have to go to his star because defenses were taking that away and forcing him to have to beat them with what he had. And he did.
Yep.
And he did. But there's no threat like that on this team now going into this year. And I like the tight ends. I like freaking Michael Mayer. Is it Meyer? Is it the 2 tight ends? Knox is one of them.
But like I said, I don't know. Or are you talking about
the 2 tight ends? No, it's Knox.
For the Bills?
For the Bills. It's
Kincaid.
Knox and Kincaid. Thank you.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about the Dolphins. I zoned out there for a second. My bad.
Yeah, Kincaid. I like both of those guys. But I'm sorry. I don't think these guys are Travis Kelce. I don't think you have a
No.
Travis Kelce or a Mark Andrews on your team.
No.
And the AFC is brutal. I look at Josh Allen, and I expect him to go ahead and take a step backwards this year. And I get it. He's been a top 3, top 5 guy over the last couple of years. He's a top 5 quarterback no matter what. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But I just don't see the productivity being there for him this year without legitimate support. And I think a lot of you make him be Superman, you're going to ask for that man to go ahead and do too much, and it's going to go ahead and cost him games. And I think that's what we're going to be able to see. I think the Buffalo Bills take a massive step backwards this year. And for me, I do believe the Dolphins are the team we have to worry about most in the AFC East.
Yeah, like I said, I completely agree with you. Like the Bills, they did lose a lot. They lost a lot on defense, and they lost a lot on offense. Like Diggs and Gabe Davis, that's 2 huge losses. I didn't really expect them to lose both of them. Honestly, well, the Diggs thing he got traded, right? So I mean, that was kind of shocking, to be honest, too. But like it was kind of expected because the last 2 seasons there was a lot of tension between the two, and especially how the season ended for the Bills last year, another wide right, which is hilarious. That's so funny. That's just so funny.
But, it could only happen to the Bills.
Yeah, I know. But, Diggs is a good receiver. He was 13th in receiving yards, I think, last year. I think he was 7th in receptions. He had 8 touchdowns. So he still had a good year last year. But he's not there anymore, and it's going to make a big impact. And I completely agree with you. I think, Josh Allen's still going to be good, but I don't think he's going to be as good as people think he's going to be. Like, Keon Coleman will be a 1,000-yard receiver probably, but actually, I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see because, like I said, our division is tough, but he's going to be the number 1 guy there. So we'll see what happens with that. What happened? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Everybody can hear me. Just can't hear you, bro. This restream, guys, I'm telling you. Anyways, I'm going to take this opportunity to plug my stuff in. I hope you don't mind, Gunny. But you guys can look for me at the Sporting News. I do some articles. I'm going to be writing for them a little bit more, and then I'm going to try to do my own thing for a bit. But you can check me out at the Sporting News and my Twitter at JJetsX, and my YouTube is JJetsX as well. I only do like videos once in a while, but you guys can check me out on there. I don't know what else to say. We need like subtitles or something. Like AI is in development. They gotta get subtitles now. Captain Canada, that's a new one. I still got nothing, bro.
Can you hear me now?
There we go. Yes.
All right. I don't know what's going on. Dano, I'm going to need to talk to you, bro, because I did the update for freaking RE stream, and it's got the whole it's all new stuff, man. So like I'm still learning it, but every time something happens, like this has never happened before in the old format. So I'm going to be sending
we never had problems before.
Yeah, so this is again, technical difficulties. I went out of my way to go ahead and do the new update for RE stream, and it looks cooler. It looks cooler, but I've never had these issues before, so I'm not a fan. So I won't be reaching out to figure out what the hell is going on. So again, I apologize. Dano, you've done the switch. Have you had these issues? This is annoying. Okay, questions from the chat. I see Dano wanting to get on. Listen, it's going to be a shorter show tonight, or an hour show tonight. I have to wake up at 4 a.m. to fly out to Midland. So if anybody wants to go ahead and go, see, I don't even know how to send an invite now on this thing. What the crap? We'll be looking at questions. If you got questions, add them in the chat real quick, and we can answer them.
Are you an iPhone user by any chance?
I am an iPhone user, yes.
See, this is why I'm worried about iOS 18, because this is going to happen. There's going to be so many bugs with it when that drops. As much as I'm excited for it, like, it's just going to be
I'm pumped for it too, but I'm expecting it to be a problem.
Yeah, like even people with the beta. I know we're going off topic, but yeah.
But no, it suits this situation, because I've literally been using this thing now since the beginning of since the beginning of the Hangar Hangout, and I've never had any issues.
Yeah.
I
only use StreamYard. I mean, I'm not trying to like
issue with RE Stream. So Infrared even said the same thing. Never had any issues. Like when I had StreamYard, I would have these issues where I would freeze, and then I'd have to I had issues with them a lot. So that's why I had looked for it. I went through Ecamm. I did another one too. It was Ecamm.
How many devices you got on your internet though? You probably have a lot, right?
Yeah, but I have this hardwired in straight to the modem, so it's not an issue with the Wi-Fi. So this
I'm just using an iPad.
This is I'm telling you, it's because of the new keeping the signal up, and everybody else can
it kept
see
me on.
Typing.
Yeah. No, we could fully see you. Like you were there. You were just like.
Yeah, I just couldn't speak to save my life. Okay, so Ricky got us with a question.
Infrared Jet saying Jake Osmond had an issue with StreamYard for the past 3 days.
I saw his popping up too.
That's annoying, man. See, that's why recording it's kind of better, but then you can't have live chats like this. But
appreciate that, Dano. This ain't NFL Network. Technical difficulties do happen. It is what it is.
We don't get Scott Hanson. Like, come on.
Nah, we don't got that kind of tech. Ricky hits us with how do we rank Herbert among the QBs? Justin Herbert. Listen, man, I'll tell you right now, I'm a fan. I like Justin Herbert a lot. A lot of people look at him and think he's a guy that can't win. But if you guys have watched the Chargers play football, man, it's never really been on the offense that they're losing games. Their defense have been atrocious. If I'm not mistaken, I think Justin Herbert right now averages 28 points a game as a starting quarterback. 28 points a game as a starting quarterback. And his win-loss looks atrocious, but the majority of that is because that defense is non-existent. I'm a big fan of Herbert. If you told me to rank where he would be at right now, I'd put him in my top 10 only because of the win-losses, right? But I would say 8th. I would say the 8th best quarterback in the NFL. I'm definitely picking him over Tua. I know there's a big back and forth with like Tuaneers about how they would take Tua over Justin Herbert. I sit there and I'm like, you're kidding, right? There's no way that's real. So for me, Justin Herbert, I would take him in a heartbeat if he was available as a free agent or something after the Aaron Rodgers experience. I would take him in a heartbeat.
Why would you even say that? I didn't even think about that.
I'm just saying, like, if for some reason freaking Harbaugh decides, like, you know what, Justin, you want my guy, I want to get my own guy, we're going to let you go or trade you or whatever, and the Jets made that move, I would be 100% on board. He's a top 10 guy for me as of right now. I would put him in like the 8th ranked quarterback for me. How about you, Jay?
I mean, yeah, he's definitely top 10, I would say. I agree with you. He's between 8 and 9 for me as well. But like you said it, they have had the defense has been shit. I mean, they gave up like 66 points or something to the Raiders. That was the game when Austin Eckler gave first down when they were down 60. That was so funny.
That was so
I don't know if you guys remember that. That was hilarious. But another thing too, what the hell are the Chargers doing? First of all, they let Keenan Allen go. Second of all, I'm not mad about it, but they let Mike Williams go. You know what I mean? Like that. Those are two guys that are elite. Well, I would say elite wide receivers. You know what I mean? Like Mike Williams is a stud. He's been great since he came out of Clemson. You know what I mean? He did tear his ACL last year, which sucks because we got him now. But you know what I mean? Hopefully it'll be all good. And then Keenan Allen is just Keenan Allen. That's all you gotta say. He's been
Yeah.
one of the best wide receivers in the NFL for the last 10 years or something. I don't know how long he's been in the NFL. So, I mean, they did him dirty this year. Like, who do they have? A receiver. They have Quentin Johnson or whatever his name is.
Yeah, they got Quentin Johnson. We'll finally
And
figure out if
then
he's going to be good. They got
they
got
drafted Joe
Brock
Alt.
Bowers? Or was that
No,
Raiders?
bro.
Raiders
No, that
got
was Raiders.
Brock
Come on,
Bowers,
bro.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. No, but they drafted Joe Alt, which is a huge
Yeah,
help.
I like that.
Who are the running backs? Can't even think of who the running backs are.
Nah, because
They don't have
well,
they don't have Austin Eckler anymore.
no, they got
He's on the
Dobbins. I think
Commanders.
they picked up Dobbins.
Oh, J.K. Dobbins. Okay, I like that. That's a good pickup.
J.K.
They
Dobbins.
did also get Harbaugh, which I completely just remembered. So I mean,
Yeah, Harbaugh.
that's good for
X
him.
factor.
That's good for Herbert. That's really good for Herbert. I think that'll help a lot. I forgot about
100%.
that. So I think now we're on the topic. I think Herbert, honestly, they need to get another weapon though. Like I don't know if somebody knows the receivers, comment them. But I only know Quentin Johnson. And like I don't know who the tight ends are. I sound like a casual fan, but I really just focus on the Jets, obviously. But I don't know. I mean, the Chiefs are shit. But yeah, I'm not like I want to be.
Oh God,
I wouldn't be worried about the Chargers, but yeah. All right, go ahead.
They got Joshua Palmer, DJ Chark.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I'm
Quentin
a casual
Johnson.
fan right now. That's bad.
Listen, Darius Davis. I don't know who these. Cornelius
I don't know who that is.
Johnson.
Josh Palmer's
Simi
good though.
Fehoko.
He won me a
Palmer's
couple fancy.
good.
Yeah.
DJ Chark is respectable.
Oh, that's my guy. DJ Chark.
Yeah.
I didn't know they got him.
And they did grab a Lad McConkey. I love Lad McConkey.
Oh, okay.
They got Lad McConkey, and they also got Brendan Rice. They picked up freaking Jerry Rice's son.
Oh, shit. Okay, so maybe they got some – yeah, I don't know. I wanted Rice. I really kind of hoped they were going to take him with them just for relevant. But yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. They did – like I said, they did lose Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, and I don't know about their defense, like I said, but I like Herbert.
With Harbaugh, though, the defense should get better. They also brought with them the defensive coordinator with them, too. So, I think the defense will get better. I don't know if they did any big. I mean, they still got Joey Bosa on that defense, right? So that's something. Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack? Is he still there?
I think he's on. Yeah, he is, but he's on the back end of his career. I'm pretty sure he's not the same guy. But a question here: we got Herbert or Stroud? That's a really good question. Really? You think it's dumb?
No, not really dumb. I mean, it's you can't say that because it's 1 year in. That's why I mean it's dumb.
Yeah, but he's
like
20,
Stroud had
21, and he looked good. It wasn't like it was 1 year in.
He was good, but
to me, this is a tough one. And
I don't know. I don't want to answer it because
only because the dysfunction in Houston for him to come in here and kind of literally in one season change the whole outlook of who the Texans are supposed to be.
They got new uniforms,
new uniforms, new head coach. Man, now I will say that Stroud is an arrogant individual, but I think you kind of want that in your quarterback, right? Like, we might hate it because he's talking shit about, I'd rather have Eli Manning over Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, you shouldn't have brought that up. That's just idiotic.
But if we're being honest, I think that the arrogance, you want that in your quarterback. So I'm gonna.
Yeah, he backs it up. You know what I mean?
He does.
Not against us, but
no, but against everybody else, he does. You know what? I think I'm going to stick with Justin Herbert, though.
Yeah, like I said, we only see 1 year of CJ Stroud. It could have been, you never know. Like, look what happened when we played us. And people are like, oh, he got hurt. He got hurt with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. He only had 97 passing yards, and our defense is elite. I know he's still one Rookie of the Year. I don't know his stats, but he's I'm not taking anything away from him. But like I said, you can't judge it. Herbert's in his 5th year, maybe? 6th, maybe? I don't know.
Going into his 5th year, yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. And Stroud's in his 2nd year, and now he's got Stephon Diggs. They got Tank Dell. Now they're on the topic. Texans are going to be good. They're going to be sweet.
No, 100%.
They're going to be they're going to be good. I'm really
excited
for that team.
We've got 5 minutes left. We didn't really get a chance to talk about the Patriots quarterback situation.
The who?
The Patriots wind up drafting Drake Maye this year. Mm-hmm. And they also got Jacoby Brissett in the building, who I think will most likely be the starter for the team. I like Jacoby Brissett. He was somebody I was hoping we'd be able to go ahead and snag as a backup.
Yeah,
but I'm happy with Tyrod Taylor. But Drake May, man, were you a fan of Drake May? I wasn't. I know he's beloved by a lot of people, but all I see is taller, bigger Zach Wilson when I look at Drake May. But what are your thoughts on the Drake May quarterback situation?
I mean, I don't really mind him, but they obviously needed a franchise quarterback, so I don't know. It's not like they don't really have weapons there. You know what I mean? So if he stays healthy, I don't know if he's going to be the day one starter. Oh, we lost Gunny again. I'm just going to keep answering the question, but I don't think he's going to be the day one starter, like you said, or like Gunny said, I guess. But maybe I should just wait. Restream, you guys suck. I'm just going to say it right now. This is my poor guy Gunny is going through it because of Restream. And this is just we see you, but we cannot hear you, sir.
And I can hear you.
Oh wait, there you go.
Hear you
We're good, bro. No, you're good. We got you.
I can hear you the whole time. I just couldn't speak. So yeah, I'm gonna figure out what the heck this is because I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'm gonna see if I can
uninstall the update.
To the old one. Yeah, because this is annoying.
Yeah.
This is very annoying.
What were we talking about, Drake May?
About Drake May, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know. It's gonna be hard to tell. I don't, like you said, I don't think he's gonna be the day one starter. I think Jacoby Brissett he's played well. Like you said, I even wanted him to get picked up by the Jets as a good backup because he's a good vet. He's definitely had his time playing, and I'm pretty sure he's won a couple playoff games, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm tripping. So you know what I mean. But like their weapons, like who do they have? I'm blank. It's June. I don't really think about other teams.
Yeah, the Patriots. The Patriots are not scary.
They got Ramondre Stevenson, right? Yeah, like I'm not worried about the Patriots. I'll be surprised if they win. I'll be surprised if they win 4 games.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, man, I think the Patriots rebuild is going to take a while, right? I don't know if you strike gold twice and you get a franchise quarterback in back-to-back years. In back-to-back, eras like the Packers seem to be able to do. So I'm glad. I'm happy for the Patriots. I'm glad they wasted a pick on Drake.
Sure.
I think personally, he's going to be a bust. I don't think he gets to stay in contact with the Patriots. I look at the dude, man, and I don't see anything special. A guy who struggles against top competition. A guy who's still very sloppy in his decision making. He can't process the field quick enough for me. Like again, I look at him and I see, he's got a big arm and he's mobile. Oh, he's just bigger Zach Wilson. That's what I see when I look at him.
Pretty much,
But hey, time will tell. I just think they made a mistake, and I want that for them. I'm so happy for them that they made that mistake. And then I guess at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is the New York Jets quarterback. And what are you expecting from Aaron Rodgers this year as the QB of the New York Jets?
Before I say that, one quick thing. The Patriots have what pick? 3?
They had third. Yep, third pick.
So I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm an LSU fan, so I am super freaking glad. Yeah, you know that that the Commanders took Jaden Daniels, because I did not want to see my guy twice a year because he would have been good with the Patriots. I think he would have been better with the Patriots than Drake May would have been. But anyways,
I like Jaden Daniels.
Yeah. He's my guy, bro. Guy who was a Heisman. I called it. I called it like the first game they played Florida State and they got dummied by Florida State. I posted a tweet that Jaden Daniels was going to win the Heisman. I maybe was talking out of my ass a little bit, but still, I tweeted it. But anyways, what was the question about Aaron Rodgers? My expectations for him?
What are your expectations for Aaron Rodgers, man? He's the Jets quarterback. He's the last quarterback in the AFC East that we haven't talked about.
It's June. What day is it? June 18th. I hate answering this question, but I'm going to answer it for you. But with what we have gotten in the offseason, Mike Williams, we drafted Malachi Corley, drafted Olaf Shanu, John Simpson, Morgan Moses, Tyron Smith, who I think is probably the biggest acquisition in the offseason for the Jets. Who else am I missing? Oh, Braylon Allen. Shout out to him. He's dope. He's going to be a stud. I think he's going to be a really good running back for us. Even Isaiah Davis, I think he's going to be pretty sweet. But the thing is health. They have to stay healthy. And if they stay healthy, bro, we are going to make the playoffs. And if they don't, they got to get rid of everybody. Because there's no way if we are healthy, like if we finish the year with Aaron Rodgers and Breece Hall, if we finish the season with Aaron Rodgers and Breece Hall, we don't make the playoffs. That's just ridiculous in my opinion. Those are 2 elite level players. Like Rodgers can get the ball to anybody. Like we have other receivers on our team. Like I'm not saying anybody's gonna get hurt, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? We have the talent on our team to do it. Like, I'm not saying win a Super Bowl. Well, you never know. The NFL loves the Chiefs too much, and they would love to see a three-peat. But I think he's gonna exceed expectations. I like if he can stay upright. I think he can get between 40 and 45 touchdown passes. I think he can play to that elite caliber quarterback we've seen him play at, and I think he's just gonna be steady. You give him Garrett Wilson and Mike Williams, Malachi Corley, who he loves. I think it's gonna be a good year for the Jets. Knock on wood. I said that like 17 times last year, and I paid for it. So.
Nah, man, I think you kind of nailed it on the head, man. I think what it boils down to is the New York Jets have, in my opinion, one of the top rosters in the NFL. I don't think it's close.
Absolutely.
I don't think it's close. I think that you look at what this team was able to accomplish, and it's telling at the very least. So I look at it in the sense that if we're able to go ahead and capitalize on the caliber of this roster, this talent, man, the Tyron Smith thing to me is huge, right? That we have him there at left tackle. That he's
massive,
able to
bro.
Ahead. It's massive, man. Like he can go ahead and it was
arguably the biggest, bro. It was honestly arguably the biggest signing of,
without
huge.
Question.
We needed it so bad.
100%.
Sorry to cut you off.
It was the most important thing that you could have gotten done this offseason. And you bring in Tyron Smith. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't think it was feasible. I thought to myself, you're not going to get an all-pro left tackle to lead Dallas.
Neither did I. I didn't think he was going to leave,
And sure enough, he's a Jet, right? And then you bring in Morgan Moses, who was a fan favorite, should have never left to begin with.
Nope.
And then you bring in a John Simpson, who I've been watching a lot of Jets X Factor breakdowns on John Simpson. I'm loving him more and more, it seems like, with each freaking video they put out. The New York Jets got better. It wasn't the thing that, like, I think Buffalo Jets fans said this great, right? He pointed out that the biggest fear we had coming into this season was the New York Jets were going to look at it and say, you know what, we have Aaron Rodgers, and he got hurt. We don't need to worry about anything else. Bringing him back is going to be enough. I was scared that was going to be the thought process. Buffalo Jet fan brought up he was scared that was going to be the thought process. But to see that they were able to analyze themselves and realize, we were way off from what we thought we had last year, and make this move to bring in quality talent. We've got a quality backup in Tyrod Taylor for quarterback. Aaron Rodgers, we're going to protect you with a freaking new wall in front of you. They made the right pick versus the sexy pick. A lot of people wanted Brock Bowers. I wanted offensive tackle or one of those top wide receivers. We got Olu Fashanu in the building, so that way we secured the swing tackle position. I think fortifying that offensive line was key. Aaron Rodgers, the last time he had this kind of support, the last time he had a top 10 defense, the last time he had a top 10 offensive line, the last time he had a top wide receiver, a top running game, won a Super Bowl. That's the last time he did. He had help around him. Aaron Rodgers is by all measures an elite quarterback in the NFL. Yeah, he's 40 years old. One of the best to ever do it. Yeah. But I think in this situation, on the back end of his career, he has more support and more help than he's probably ever had in his career. People say I'm being biased, but if you look at the team he won the Super Bowl with, I would argue that this team as a whole, because you're going to have a top 5 special teams as well. They were a top 15 special teams, that team. As a whole, this is probably the best team he's had to work with. So we don't need 100% of MVP Rodgers, I think, to go ahead and be effective. And 80% Aaron Rodgers is going to be more than enough. And it sounds like he's a man on a mission. I mean, even Bakatari said it himself, like, if you guys want to bet against Aaron Rodgers, stupid, but hey, do you? I think Aaron Rodgers is going to wind up finishing this year as a top 5 quarterback. I think his floor is top 10. I think he's in the top 5 conversation. I think he's going to be there in the end with the Miami Dolphins for the AFC East. And I expect this team to go ahead and put up 11 to 12 wins. Go and break this freaking ridiculous playoff curse drought and finally go ahead and freaking win a playoff game. And hopefully once you're in the playoffs, anything can happen. I would love to achieve a Super Bowl. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's very, very hard to do in the NFL. And you're right. The NFL definitively, it's been a while.
There's a lot of room there. I said it earlier. There's a lot of room there.
the NFL definitively does love the Chiefs. We saw that last year because the Chiefs, in my opinion, last year were not very good. They weren't.
No.
A lot of things fell in place for them. So whenever people say, "Oh, the Chiefs team is one of the best teams in the league," I'm like, "No, it's not."
No,
I think Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league.
They got 2 players. Well, maybe 3. Maybe 4. Okay. Well, is Snead still on? Snead's not on the Chiefs anymore, right?
No, Snead's not on. He's gone.
Yeah, so I was just going to say Chris Jones, Pat Mahomes, and Kelsey. That's about it.
But
am I missing somebody?
I look at it this way, man. I think the Jets right now, I said an hour. It's already 9:05. I think the Jets right now are in a perfect position to flex this roster, man. Flex their muscle. I would love for once in our lives, if the football gods, God, whatever, just leave us alone. Don't hurt us. Just leave the Jets play every game. I'm not asking for wins. I'm not praying for you to give us wins. No. Just let us be healthy.
You gave the Giants 2. Give us. Come on. It's our time.
Right? It's our
time. You gave Eli Manning 2 rings against Tom Brady, but we can't get one with Aaron Rodgers? Come on, bro. That's ridiculous.
They gave up 30 plus. Yeah, thank you, Ricky. This is another good one, right? A lot of people will say, "Oh, well, he was underwhelming when it came to like the postseason," but like he averages 30 plus points a game. I don't know what more you want from your freaking quarterback if he's averaging 30 plus points a game and the games are being lost by the defense. So listen, I'm excited about this year. I think all Jets fans should be. But I'm pumped, man. I think Aaron Rodgers finishes as a top 5 guy, top 10 at worst. And I've already told y'all, Offensive Player of the Year is going to be Breece Hall. I think freaking Garrett Wilson. Comeback player is going to be freaking Aaron Rodgers. I think he'll get a couple of MVP votes. But I'm pumped, man. I'm extremely pumped. So that's the show for tonight, y'all. Listen, I got to wake up literally in the next 7 hours, whatever it is, to go ahead and head to the airport to get on the plane to go to Midland. Then taking the family to South Padre Island this week, so that's going to be fun. So like
nice. That should be good.
It's going to be a fun week. Yeah. But yeah, you dropped your stuff before. Listen, Jay's information is in the description. If y'all want to go ahead and check him out, man, he's putting out some bomb articles. You're putting on an article like every other day now. You doing it every other day, or how are you doing that?
It might be slowing down a little bit because, like I said, I'm gonna venture off and might start doing my own thing. But yeah, I'm still gonna start posting some stuff for the Sporting News. You guys should just go to Sporting News and type JRICCI, and my stuff will come up. I think there's like 18 articles or something like that. And then my Twitter is at JJetsX or JJetsX. But it's like June, right? So I'm not. I'm pretty on top of stuff, but you know what I mean. I have a life too, so you know.
Yeah, it's difficult, man, to go ahead and stay as constant as you want to be.
This is my first year doing this. Yeah, like this is my first year doing this, and it's like every day, and it's like I can't miss anything. But like whatever, it's worth it. It's fun, you know what I mean. So.
Man, I appreciate you for coming on, dog. I really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Everybody for chopping it up with us, man. A shorter show this evening. We'll come back fire next week. I appreciate you guys. Hey, man, as always, go Jets, everybody. Y'all have a good night.